Penguinz0, most critical, is one of YouTube's biggest content creators at the moment. Penguinz0 makes a variety of content, from commentary type content where he speaks about current day situations, gaming content, podcasts, and whatever he feels like posting. And whilst he's been involved in loads of situations, he as a bigger content creator has not really come under fire until very recently. The past month for Penguinz0 has been a month like no other, with different controversies seemingly arising every week at this point. Starting with Penguinz0's recent coverage of SSSniperwolf. A channel called One Giant Onion accused SSSniperwolf of falsely striking down their content.
Upon further inspection, it turns out that I actually received a copyright strike from SSniperwolf. She took down one of my videos called Watching SSniperwolf Until I Laugh.
Now Penguinz0 covered this situation, and instead of doing the research before the video, he did the research after the video.
But she just copyright struck One Giant Onion for content she herself doesn't even actually own.
Almost as soon as this video dropped, SSniperwolf went onto Twitter to combat these allegations. Moist Critical would eventually respond to this, and SSniperwolf would actually prove her innocence on Twitter. Now, whilst Charlie would receive his fair share of criticism for jumping into the situation how he did, so would the commentary community as a whole, as the majority of them took these allegations at face value and said that SSniperwolf definitively did this. Penguinz0 would then make a follow-up video correcting the record.
The second strike I covered was one that was not declined. It fully went through, and it came from SSniperwolf. Or was it? Was it all just a ploy from the deep state to have us eating out of the palm of their hands as the New World Illuminati shadow government actually worked behind the scenes to frame SSniperwolf and she wasn't actually involved? Well, maybe not to that scale, but from all the evidence I've seen now, it actually wasn't SSniperwolf who filed that strike.
This is a case if Penguinz0 had actually just reached out to SSniperwolf to ask anything about the situation instead of trying to rush out the video, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Now, whilst the criticism in this situation might be 100% valid, the next we're going to be speaking about definitely is not. Critical recently featured in a massive MrBeast video where he got loads of the biggest YouTubers together to compete to win money for their fans. Well, you might be wondering why Penguinz0 would be called out in any context due to this situation. Well, Penguinz0 and Logan Paul were pretty friendly on the set of this video, and that actually came out.
What's up, bro?
Hey, nice
How are you, dude? I like your videos, dude.
I appreciate it.
I know you've talked some shit, but...
Everybody hates Logan Paul. Is everyone around Logan just a f***ing idiot?
I'm always super happy that people don't take it personally, man.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
thank God.
I understand I'm a and I'm here to be a bro. Good to see you, bro.
And also, Prime's pretty fire.
Thanks,
I'm not
bro.
allowed to say it on camera.
I get it, bro. I get it, bro. Fuck, bro.
Good luck today, right?
Yeah, likewise, bro. Likewise.
Now, the criticism against Charlie here comes from the fact that apparently Penguinz0 just doesn't have a backbone, and he doesn't hold the same morals or standards that he does in his videos to Logan Paul's actual face. This situation revolving around Penguinz0 and Logan Paul would get to such an extent that Penguinz0 would actually have to launch a response video dismantling a lot of their claims made. He would respond to the fact that people were stating that Penguinz0 has actively gone against Prime in his videos, but in that clip, he's praising Prime to Logan Paul's face.
Consistently said I actually like Prime. I think it's pretty fire. So I don't know why that's something that's sticking. Like, I prefer gamer sups, obviously, but that doesn't mean every other drink that's a competitor is bad.
Penguinz0 stated here that he's never once said that Prime is bad and that he actually quite enjoys it and that he doesn't know where this has come from. To me, this just seems like something to target one of YouTuber's biggest current content creators. Charlie then goes into some detail to why he didn't actually confront Logan Paul in this moment and decided to be friendly with him, stating that this was a month before any other controversy had come out about him.
Since then, he is now apparently suing CoffeeZilla. Either Logan or someone on his team is suing CoffeeZilla, which is a massive fucking L. That is brain dead activity for sure. But when this was filmed, that wasn't happening. What was happening was he was publicly trying to make amends with the victims of his CryptoZoo scam that he butt-fucked them all with, and as far as I know, he has been paying some people back, and at the time was still in the process of paying people back through whatever like program he set up for it. But there was none of this lawsuit going on.
To me and others that had seen this situation going on, it just seemed like people were trying to nitpick against Charlie to find anything to criticize him with. And hate against Penguinz0 wouldn't stop there. He was actually one of the content creators that was at the receiving end of backlash for him not covering the Chris Tyson situation quick enough. In actuality, Penguinz0 had already responded on stream and clipped it up and put it on a second channel.
It's been 10 minutes. So I'll probably get asked like 4,500 more times over the next hour or so, but hopefully now there'll be a timestamp here that people will refuse to rewind to and still inundate me with questions asking the same fucking thing over and over again and saying I'm ignoring it. Yeah, so I went through a lot of the Ava stuff. It's definitely not looking good.
And the exact same thing that Charlie said would happen in that clip happened. He would get called out on Twitter for apparently quote-unquote not covering this situation. Wish people would actually bother checking if I've talked about something. I talked about it last night on stream while it was all unfolding and posted a short edit from the discussion so even brain-rotted idiots can watch the full thing and see how horrible it is. I will also be making a full video on it as well, which I said too. I'm honestly shocked Sneako isn't defending all of this, considering he's been arguing against the age of consent for a while now. This would cause a little backwards and forwards for Charlie on Twitter, but nothing major. This situation would be over and done with within the day. Unlike the next very recent situation we're going to be discussing, the debate between Sneako and Penguinz0. For people that are maybe unaware, Penguinz0 and Sneako have had a long history of issues against each other, making videos on each other going backwards and forwards for some time now. And in almost all these encounters, Penguinz0 has come out on top until very recently. Sneako and Penguinz0 had a public debate which recently blew up across the internet for how absolutely mind-numbingly dumb it was. Sneako made some horrific points which Penguinz0 should have been able to shut down almost instantly and win the debate.
I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it. The maturity for people and the teenagers in the West is getting much worse, but there are...
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for, and I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore, anyone, do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved?
Sneako was saying some absolutely disgusting and abhorrent things on this debate, so Penguinz0 should have been able to easily win, and everybody would be talking about how bad Sneako was on this debate. However, the exact opposite happened. Everybody was talking about what Penguinz0 was saying on this debate.
Hormone therapy, can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, as you agree with.
Okay, so as long as everyone...
If your parents are okay with it and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make, yeah.
Okay.
Clips like the one we've just played, and most importantly the one we just played, went viral across the internet for some of the points Penguinz0 was making. Most people were mocking him for some of the stuff he was saying and were genuinely confused about. In regards to some of the points he was making, most importantly the trans comment, Penguinz0 on stream would rehash it and clarify his point.
You can get therapy, you can go through the process of making that decision. I thought that's what it was. I thought he was just speaking in hyperbole with the dick cutting off shit. I thought that's what we were talking about. And then if you decide that's the path you want to take, it is your body, you can do that. You can make that decision once you become of age to make a decision like that. I just don't understand how it got so muddled. Half of the fucking conversation was hyperbole, and apparently that one was literal.
But by this point, it was too late. The majority of the internet was going against Penguinz0 for his comments and absolutely clowning on him. This wouldn't be helped by Sneako's barrage on Twitter, and then a statement coming out from his official podcast stating that Penguinz0 would be taking an indefinite break from it and a couple of his other projects. But people took this as him taking an indefinite break from the internet. Sneako and others would use this as more fuel to clown Penguinz0, which got so big that Penguinz0 had to make another incredibly long response.
Sports fans, holy Toledo. Yeah, so Moist Critical's in a big oopsie poopsie situation here. It reminds me of the time in Moonfall when KC Houseman sacrifices himself and dies of cringe to become the moon. Yeah, so, being serious now, since this has become such a big issue, I've been in a lot of drama recently. I'm in hot water, and I'm biting on the fart bubbles that pop up in the bathtub.
Penguinz0 would address lots of his recent controversies he's found himself in quite a bit as of recent. Towards the end of the video, he would even state that a lot of the situations he's been covering at the moment have just been getting him down and he's not finding YouTubers fun anymore.
I'm just being myself. That's all this channel ever has been. And now it's become super controversial to do that if it's not like, you know, picking sides on everything, it seems. And it's very frustrating. For the longest time, it was just me having fun. And for the most part, it still is. But I've started to recognize over the last few months that some of the things I do just really aren't fun for me to do, and I've been doing them out of obligation.
This response garnered a fair bit of praise online and has racked up a significant amount of views. This has been an extraordinarily weird month for Penguinz0 and one that I'm gonna say he most likely won't be forgetting. If you did enjoy today's video, leave a like and subscribe.